the former #1 overall pick in the NBA draft, now known as Klay Thompson's dad. How are you, Mychal Thompson?
How am I? You got to ask that question. How am I? I'm a bundle of nerves, man. I can't sleep. I can't eat. Food doesn't taste good right now. I can barely get oxygen in my lungs. I didn't think I'd be in this situation, Andrew Siciliano. I thought coming to Cleveland by Game 4, definitely I thought the Warriors would be in control of this series. So I don't know how I'm feeling right now. I'm sitting up here on this 8th floor of this hotel I'm in, and I tell you, I have to stay away from the balconies because I feel like, no, I'm not going to say it. We just got to get a win tonight. That's all I'm feeling. That's how I'm feeling.
Mychal, what the heck's going on? I mean, just be honest here. Because, look, you know the Cavs are scrappy, but when Kyrie got hurt and they lost that game, and the way they lost Game 1, too, where they get their guts ripped out in overtime, there wasn't anyone other than drinking the most spiked Cavs Kool-Aid ever that thought we'd be sitting here right now.
Well, you got that right. What's happened is the Cavaliers have dictated the pace of this series. LeBron and Matthew Dellavedova, with their gritty, tough, slow-down play, turned this into a rugby-like finals, and their physical styles winning. The Warriors can play physical too, but I would recommend that they pick up the pace, even run after made baskets, spread the court, move the ball quickly, and try to play Warrior pace basketball. And, of course, do the little fundamental things too, like keep Tristan Thompson off the offensive glass, and don't let Matthew Dellavedova out-scrap you and out-hustle you to all the loose balls. So small things they can change, but they're capable of doing it. And tonight, you hate to say must win, but whoever wins tonight is probably going to win the series.
You do love to say must win, though. You said I hate to say it, but no, you really do like to say it.
I kind of do. Yeah, it's kind of like that because if the Warriors win tonight, then they're in control. I know they still have to go back and come back and all that stuff, but if they win tonight, they take away a lot of the momentum of the Cavaliers. They get themselves reestablished. They get their confidence levels now pumped up going home for Game 5, as opposed to maybe going to Game 5 down 3-1, looking at insurmountable odds to try to come back. But that's why I say tonight, and even Klay said tonight is kind of a must-win for them to reestablish themselves as a team and the dominant team in this series.
This is Mychal Thompson, former #1 pick in the NBA draft, and a long time, actually, was it 10 years now with the Lakers doing radio?
Let me see. We started in 03, 04.
Okay, so more than that.
Year, so, more like 12 years.
Laker radio analyst for 12 years, now known as Klay Thompson's dad, which I assume you like as well. Mychal, you used to use the word scrubs all the time when you and I worked together. You would say LeBron and, quote, a bunch of scrubs. Because we were working together when LeBron made the decision and went to Miami. And you said, well, why would you want to play with a bunch of scrubs when you can go play with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh? Is this team a bunch of scrubs?
In basketball terms, we call anybody who's not a starter a scrubs. Not to be disrespectful, just that the starters are the starters and the backups are usually called the scrubs. And I was a scrub on the Laker championship squads coming up off the bench behind the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So when you use the term in basketball terms scrub, that's not derogatory, just a sort of an endearing term for second stringers.
All right, so it's LeBron and a bunch of scrubs.
Well, I hate to put it that way.
Well, no, I'm not trying to make you sound bad, but that's kind of what it is, especially now with everyone injured, Mychal.
Yeah, if you're not a basketball player, then you look at it as an insulting term. So I don't want the listening audience who don't play, but anybody out there who played basketball, you don't have to be in the NBA. If you played in high school basketball, you understand what that term is. So it's, like I said, it's a term of endearment.
Why don't we see you on TV, and why do we see Del Curry every night? Not that there's anything wrong with the Curry family. Please don't misunderstand me.
Well, the Curry family is a little bit better looking than the Thompson family, and they have better seats. Del's a handsome man. Sonya's a beautiful lady. Aisha, and little Riley. Oh my goodness, can't put her on TV enough. She's maybe America's cutest kid, and all kids are cute, but she may be the cutest of them all. And me, the Currys have like 2 or 3 rows back from the bench. I'm usually up in the rafters, hidden up in some dark corner of the recesses of the arena, so they can't ever find me. Plus, I'm always pacing up and down. I can't sit in my seat. I get too nervous.
I know the game has changed and the media and all that has changed, but back then, if we did the whole podium game thing as they do now, would you have had Klay or Trace or anyone on your lap?
Andrew, that's a good question. And I know people were upset when Riley was up there, and Riley Curry was up there kind of running around and being a 2-year-old or 4-year-old and not just being a kid. And for the most part. You notice when guys bring their daughters or sons up there, they just sit there. Chris Paul does it all the time with his sons, and they just sit there and they listen to their dad, and they listen attentively, and they're well behaved. Riley is a little rambunctious. She runs around. She's very energetic. And what I like is, and I'm not trying to get too deep here, but in the African American community, in the black community, one of the problems, and even in pro sports, Andrew, one of the problems is you hear about a lot of these kids who grew up without a father in their home. And what I like the message that's being sent when the guys bring their kids up with, and they're showing the rest of America that they can be responsible fathers, loving, caring fathers, which they are supposed to be. That is their duty. That's their responsibility. And it's showing that they are living up to that responsibility. And it's just not a bunch of guys out there with these fatherless kids running around. Guys like Steph and Chris Paul and other guys who bring their kids up with them are sending the right message that, see, in the black community, there are a bunch of guys out there who are willing to take the fatherly role and be loving fathers and husbands. So I kind of like the message when the kids go up there with their dads.
Yeah, well said, Michael. I don't have a problem with it. And honestly, listen, I know people are trying to do the job. We've all been there. We all have a job to do post-game. But if I have to hear one more reporter say, hey, Steve, ask a question. All right, so take Riley Curry off the podium, and I get to hear another reporter say, hey, talk about the third quarter run. Michael, my favorite thing ever at a press conference was when Phil Jackson was once asked, hey, can you talk about that 14-0 run in the third quarter? And he said, no. No. Yeah. No. So please stop complaining about little kids on the podium. By the way, I know you're a proud dad, and you said you're pacing. Can you even put into words what this is like for you?
Let's see. How can I put it into words? You would think, oh, boy, Michael's having fun. I'm not really having fun. I'm too tense. It's too much pressure. I feel helpless because I can't play and I can't go out there and help play. I have a lot of faith and confidence in him and his team, but I want this so bad for those guys. I want them to win so bad that I get a little too nervous, a little too worked up. I'm out there pacing. I can't enjoy it. Unless they're up by 30 or 20 points late in the fourth quarter, it doesn't seem like it's fun to me. And I've only had fun a couple of times in these games, Andrew, when they blew out the Rockets, and when they blew out the Grizzlies in a game. Other than that, the games are too tense for me to enjoy them.
I can't even imagine, says the guy without kids, granted. But I can't even imagine because, sitting there every day with you and seeing how, for those who don't know, Michael used to live on like Washington State Cougar message boards, right? I mean, and not to give away too many secrets here, Michael, what you did in the studio when you weren't reading about track and field and tennis. But, you are so in to the success, as you should be, of your three kids' careers. All three of your kids professional athletes, 2 basketball, 1 of them baseball, and to have 1 of them here on the grandest stages, can't even begin to imagine. Last thing for you, we have a poll question here. So Rich is away today because his son is graduating preschool. He's being a good dad, speaking of fatherly duties here. Our other producer, Chris Brockman is away because he's at a wedding in Hawaii, and it's a Thursday. We know weddings aren't until Saturday. Who has the better excuse, Michael?
Well, I think being at the wedding, because that's pretty special. I mean, hey, this is Clay's job. Obviously, it's very important. But when you're talking about a wedding, that's a life decision.
Yeah,
man.
but it's
that's
a Thursday, Michael.
Well, that's true. But, you're still at a wedding. It's still, where is he, in Hawaii?
Hawaii, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's much better than hanging out in Cleveland. So I would imagine he's got it better.
Mychal Thompson, who wins tonight?
Oh, the Warriors, of course. I have faith in these guys. They're the best team all season long. I think they'll rediscover their Warrior style tonight. I expect the Warriors to respond and get this win tonight.
Michael, we had some fun together. I know this is not easy for you, and I know that you have a radio show to do coming up in a half hour as well. So thank you kindly, sir. Good luck tonight. Please tell Julie that I said hi, and that she deserves some camera time here, so maybe you guys can work on that.
And Grandma Siciliano's still here in Cleveland, right?
She is 97 years old. That's why I was in town a couple of days ago. She is doing well. She is rooting for the Cavs. I tried to buy her a jersey. She, however, would not put it on.
Good for her. I like her already.
Yeah, and she likes you as well. Mychal Thompson, thank you, sir. Good luck tonight.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Michael, the former number 1 overall pick, 1978, but now known as well he should be, and as he is very proud to be known as well, as Klay Thompson's dad.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. on audience.